Hi, and welcome to Swim with Annie's podcast. I'm here today with Marrick McDonald, who is the chair of the New York State Temporary Commission for the Prevention of Childhood Drowning. Have I got that right, Marrick?
To prevent childhood drowning.
Prevent childhood drowning. Can you do me a favor? Will you introduce yourself as the chair and then state the commission as with the exact right title?
Yes. I'm Marrick McDonald, the chairman of the New York State Temporary Commission to help to prevent childhood drowning.
Yeah, it's a mouthful though. And
It is a mouthful. Yes.
to me, it's one of the most exciting rooms I've ever been in because I've been really in my 17 plus years of coaching and teaching swimming, probably more than that. I worry about things. I worry about rules I think should exist, legislation that it should exist. And then from the Vermont State Water Action Safety Committee, yeah, all of these are mouthfuls. I was introduced to your commission in New York State, and I, from day one, was fascinated with the level of expertise and detail in the room. And so, first, I would like to ask you some things. First, I want to ask about you. When you were little, did you learn to swim at a young age? How old were you when you learned to swim?
My grandparents had 10 children. And when they decided to put in a backyard pool. And so as grandchildren, we all went there and congregated at grandma's pool. So I learned how to swim at grandma's pool. And actually, I have a picture of me blowing bubbles sitting on her stairs when I was like 1.5.
That's great. And then, did you join any swim programs as you got older? Were you on any swim teams, or did you go to any
We
water polo or?
I went to a high school that had a pool. The pool was used to do summer swim lessons every summer in the 80s. They don't do that now, but in the 80s we were constantly taking swimming lessons. Swimming at my grandparents in middle school and high school, or junior high and high school. We had swimming as part of our physical education class, so I was always in the pool. I tried swim team for a little bit, but then that just wasn't my jam. I decided that that's not something I want to do, but was encouraged to get my lifeguarding certification and then my water safety instructor certification, and went on from there.
And so then you became a lifeguard and a water safety instructor, and you started to teach lessons.
Yeah, I ran a municipal pool for 5 summers. I worked at camps, day camps and resident camps. In New York, we have a requirement that for camps that all kids be swim assessed to be able to go into the deep end. So I have done a lot of swim assessments for kids to be able to do that. That seems to be my thing that I do in the summer, because there's not many people with those credentials anymore. I went on to gain other Red Cross certifications, and then when I left my job as a teacher, decided that creating my own business, Upstate Aquatics LLC, was something that I was going to do. The majority of instructors and instructor trainers in the American Red Cross were from the Utica area, and I mentored them or was part of their training cadre at the chapter level. And we all loved playing together. We would run aquatic schools at Hamilton College and SUNY Herkimer. And so we miss playing with each other in regards to doing aquatic training together, and the camaraderie that
Yeah.
comes along with running an aquatic school. And so that was part of the reason why I created Upstate Aquatics, so that we could all have fun with that. And we did. I have done training, or did training, all the way around upstate New York, had students from 7 different states in 3 countries. So it's been fun.
You know, it's really great to hear how this trajectory, the path that you have taken, that you're describing about swimming, the same things that I got from swim team and travel on the buses to the meets and the camaraderie, right? And there's something about that attraction to water in general that can really bring that sense of community about, and it gives such a strength, doesn't it, to have that much fun and that much. And that's actually to transition back to the New York State Temporary Commission for the Prevention of Childhood Drowning, to prevent childhood drowning, is that I find that same sense in the room. Your leadership, you're a very democratic person. I hear you really listen and guide with a very open mind to different opinions, and the room is so respectful, and all of the professionals and the aquatics people in the aquatics professionals in the room are have that same sense of camaraderie. And I say that I believe it's from your leadership and their leadership combined, and a respect for one another in the room. Can you tell me a little bit succinctly, should we talk about the bullet points, or what would be the best way to describe the frame of it if you had to say it in 3 sentences?
3 sentences?
Or 4.
Well, we have 5 goals that we're currently working on.
Uh-huh.
The first goal has been completed. It's the creation of New York State aquatic learning standards.
Uh-huh.
We base those off the physical education standards. We are working on understanding what the aquatic environment is throughout upstate New York.
Uh-huh.
We are working on creating an awareness campaign to assist individuals, whether they be parents of children, high school, middle school kids, political officials, on the importance of aquatics and aquatic education.
Mhm.
We are working on creating public and private partnerships for our students, our children, to be able to have access to aquatic education throughout the state. And we are looking at the diversity piece, making sure that those people and diverse populations have access to aquatic education.
Great. And one of the most fascinating components of your commission for me is that you bring in guest speakers. Like you had Dr. Miriam Lynch come in and speak to diversity in aquatics, and one of my favorite topics is what the framework of which I learned from Dr. Lynch and yourself is that it's called the blue economy, which is that I never knew as a child. I didn't really understand that I could have a job, an actual career where I could support myself and my family through teaching swimming. I'm fascinated by the fact, like I majored in English. You majored in English too, right?
I did. Yes, I did.
And wouldn't it be great if one could major in aquatics, or major in, like, to me, I would love to build a school where you come to learn how to be present with inside aquatics in a way that is, that brings about all that camaraderie and that and thing and the certifications and everything together. And then you could graduate with a degree that gives you this more professional, impactful, cleaner line to show up to the jobs that we have. But anyway, I didn't mean to go on about that.
That's being worked on at one of the colleges in upstate New York.
Really?
It is.
That's a very exciting thing. Can you say more or no?
No.
Okay, well, it's good not to, because we don't want to reveal anybody's secrets. I'm excited to hear that. So then, how did you get hold of Dr. Miriam Lynch? How did you, oh, that's right, the one commissioner.
Yes. Mike Schwitalski from Buffalo.
That's right. That was
he's the founder of the City Swim Project.
Yeah. And I think that's to be said too, right? The last meeting that we had, sorry, a phone call came through. I didn't really know how to change that. The last meeting that we had, there were people that I knew from my childhood growing up in Brooklyn and swimming. And it's really exciting to see the interconnection, and you all are so welcoming to the public that shows up and to the people that show up. And I really like the commitment to being thorough. Let's see. Let's take this piece and close us out. What would you say is your hope for the onward motion of the commission? I know that there's some pieces still being pulled together. There's soon to be a website link that's not yet available, but they're working on it. I understand that the commission is very grounded in its meeting every other week. There's some meetings that are taking place upcoming that I saw Brian Tobin post about. Do you think that it would be helpful if more people were attending the meetings? Do you think those meetings that Brian posted about, when will the commission be ready for the general public to really engage? What's
Well,
the
the
next?
general public can engage at any point. We are a public body, so the general public can participate at any of our meetings. That's
Great.
part of following the open meeting law in New York State. We're learning a lot about the needs of the aquatic professionals in the state of New York, and that's important. We need that information in order to better assist them.
And I am so grateful that you would take this try with me and see how we could do this. And we're here with Marrick McDonald, the chair of the New York State Temporary Commission to Prevent Childhood Drowning.
Yes.
And your work is, I think, going to be respected nationwide. And I'm so grateful to you. Do you have anything else you'd like to add for today?
Thanks, Annie. This has been fun.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.